Hello everyone and welcome back to the homestead. Literally for me, I just got back from Homesteaders of America and I'm gonna be honest, the foliage was not this good looking when I left on Thursday. I don't know if it has anything to do with the drought we had this summer, but the foliage this year is just absolutely stunning. It's probably some of the best I've ever seen in the now over 20 years I've lived up here in New Hampshire. It's crazy. Check this out. So as I was saying, I just got back from Homesteaders of America late last night, and I wanted to get up today and film this video with everything fresh in my mind because it was such a cool experience this year. There was a totally new vibe that kind of came over the whole conference, and I wanted to talk about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get these chores started, get these animals fed, and while I'm doing that, I'll take you through my first day. And I'm going to warn you ahead of time, the video is going to be a little bit different than last year's because I didn't film as much. And I'll tell you why a little bit closer to the end of this video. Anyway, come with me to Homesteaders of America 2023. Hello everyone, and welcome back to a very early travel edition of the Mindful Homestead. It is about 5:30 in the morning. We're doing great, only a half an hour behind. Let's get on the road. We got a long day of driving. We are cruising, hour and 45 minutes-ish left, which can't come soon enough. I am here in Spacious Skies Campground with Mama Dukes and Dad. They're on vacation too. It just happens to be during Homesteaders of America. So checked out the campsite. I'm gonna give my mom their tickets for tomorrow. Well, you're not going tomorrow. Maybe they'll go tomorrow. So I'm gonna give them their tickets and then I'm gonna head back into Front Royal and I am going to meet up with some friends for dinner. We are here. I'm making the trek. I'm parked way out. I kind of decided to sleep in a little bit last night. I know a bunch of people were getting here super early, but I figured maybe if I just came a little bit later, there wouldn't be such a big crowd to get in. We're gonna make the trek to the conference. I've got my coffee and we're gonna go see what we can see. Gonna head over here. Joel Salatin is doing a poultry processing demo.
The whole idea here is to get this bird done without bursting any digestive juices into the body cavity.
After a little bit of walking around on day one, I settled into Joel Salatin's poultry processing demo. He processed a bunch of Cornish crosses. What's cool is that you're always learning and you're always finding new things from other people, and I learned a pretty good bit. There were a bunch of tips and tricks that he talked about when he was processing the birds, at how he does it, what he does, things to look out for.
My technique as a surgeon, though, has been shown to be really, really excellent because I've never had a patient from my surgery ever sick another day.
And there were a few things in there that I knew, but I don't always think about. One part in particular he talked about that really kind of made me think was he discussed when you're processing birds, where you'll typically lose weight, because we sell our birds and we sell our birds by the weight. So for us, if we're selling by the pound, when we lose incremental bits of meat and fat and skin and things like that off of our birds, we're losing dollars at the end of it, whether it goes in the trash or whether it goes into the bag and is sold to somebody else. That's something that matters, and hearing him talk about those things was pretty eye-opening to me.
So there are all sorts of processing jokes, like Daniel says there are two rules of this. One, keep your mouth shut. Number two, if you feel something on your lip, don't lick it.
While I was walking around, I ran into some people that were wearing Homesteaders of New England shirts from our event, which had happened back the second week in September.
Where did you guys get those sweet shirts? from your Homesteaders Conference in New Hampshire.
Well, let's not. I don't want to take all the credit.
Well, you're going to get a lot of credit.
These guys came up and very excited to see the shirts down here. I saw somebody else was wearing one at the rabbit processing demo too yesterday.
Nice.
So that's kind of cool. What are your names again?
Deacon and Allison.
Did we meet at the...
Yes, we
Okay,
did.
cool. All right. I got a kick out of running into people in Virginia that came to our homestead gathering here in New England. It just really kind of reinforced that it's not one thing. You know, we're constantly learning, we're constantly evolving, we're constantly seeking out new knowledge and new people. And that was pretty cool to see them having come to our event, also going down to Virginia. I met a lot of people that day.
You did. There was a lot. There was good turnout.
Yeah, and this is why like regional conferences are cool. Homesteaders of America conferences are cool. You know, everyone comes together from all over the country here, and then we can go back to our own home regions and just double down. So,
yeah,
good seeing you guys. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Fun part for me of just walking around Homesteaders of America is that you can see all sorts of cool new stuff that you might not have thought about before. There was a woman there selling these clay pots called Oyas, and you use them for watering.
Hi, I'm Mary Catherine with Dripping Springs Oyas, and this is an Oya. It's a clay pot that you put in the ground and you put water in it. And what it does is it waters this 4x4 raised bed, and you can put the water in and leave it there for 5 to 10 days. It's an efficient irrigation system, thousands of years old, and that's what it does. Dripping Springs Oyas, clay pot irrigation.
We have raised bed gardens that tend to dry out pretty quick, and something like that, whether it's her product specifically or something like it that we kind of find down the line, is something that I'm definitely going to consider adding to maybe not all of our raised beds, but some of the ones that for plants that need a little bit more water than usual, or some of the ones that just seem to dry out quicker than others.
Hey, I'm Gracie from American Milfoot Breeders Association. We're here presenting the most critically endangered pig in the United States. They came here from maybe the Spaniards. This is pre-United States of America. They were found on the Mississippi River on an island. They went through natural selection process for a couple hundred years before man got involved. We started a registry. We didn't, but someone started a registry in 1907. We started again in 2013. They have micro marbling, very red meat. Their hoof is like a mule or a horse hoof that does not have a split. It's called a syndactyl hoof. Other animals can have syndactyl hoof, but no other animal is the American Milfoot hog.
And then I rounded out day one by helping my buddy Morgan up from Goldshaw Farm, who I've talked about on the channel before. He wanted to do a video for his channel, and I won't tell you the particular details of it, but it was pretty cool. It's along the lines of the store-bought tomato versus homegrown tomato video that he did a few years ago at Homesteaders of America. I think you guys are really going to like it. Day one feelings about the event now that we're back at the truck. Good time. I kind of went into this year just wanting to see some friends and talk to people more than I did any plans of like a real big video. So I don't know, I didn't really film a lot today. It's probably going to be like 30 seconds that you guys get of an actual video. But tonight I'm just going to go hang out at our friends, have some barbecue, and we'll be back tomorrow. See you then. All right, day two. I'm going to try and do a little more filming today than I did yesterday. I kind of just hung out and talked to friends and did all that stuff yesterday. I'm walking in now. I'm gonna try to catch the tail end of Tom's talk from Murray McMurray about sustainable meat birds. And then we will regroup.
If you have the space, the more feed that they can get to, the better. Like, put one feeder out and like, oh, well, they got, like, some of them didn't get there, like they just was farther away, or they warmed up, like, food and water, just feed them, so.
He was able to shed a ton of light on heritage breed crosses that work really well for a sustainable homestead meat production scenario. He didn't talk much about Cornish cross because obviously you're not going to hatch those out at home, but he talked about the similar hybrid vigor that exists in Cornish crosses and how you can attain not the same, but something similar to that or close to it at home. After that, I did a bunch more walking around. There were so many vendors there this year, way more vendors than last year. If you went last year and you saw the amount of vendors that were there, you came this year, you would have thought it was a completely different event. I would say there were upwards of 50 or 60 vendors this year selling all different kinds of stuff, talking about all different kinds of products. Really, you could have spent the entire weekend just checking out vendors. But I didn't. I made sure that I got to go see Eustace Conway from Turtle Island Preserve.
It's hard to have insight on it. Sometimes it's hard to even have insight on ourselves because we're so close to ourselves and so familiar with our pattern. And so that's one reason I encourage people to travel. And just like go to Africa or Europe, just go anywhere else that is outside of your norm, because it helps you see yourself and your people. And by looking at different people, it just sort of stimulates an awareness. And that's largely what I have done for a lifetime, is to be outside of the norm of my people, growing up here in the South and North America.
Eustace is one of the personalities on History Channel's Mountain Men. It's a show that Jackie and I have watched for years, even before we got super into the homesteading and small farming thing. So really cool. I didn't catch Eustace last year. I was able to catch him this year, which I really enjoyed. And it was cool to just hear him tell some stories of his growing up and how he got into what he's doing, and his kind of like the thought process behind the man that you see on TV, which is not necessarily him, because TV is going to do all sorts of crazy stuff to kind of embellish and make drama. But it was neat to see where he's coming from. And the last thing I filmed on the second day was me talking to a company called Logox, which I actually bought something from.
Hey, so I'm Austin Roberts. I'm one of the co-founders and general managers of Logox. We're here at the Homesteaders of America Conference, and showing off our main tool here, which is the Logox 3-in-1 forestry multi-tool. And with this tool, what it allows me to be able to do is take a log round, pick it up off the ground, put it up onto a log split or some other surface like that. And what I'm not doing is I'm not bending over, I'm not hurting my back in the process of doing that. Or if I'm trying to yard up firewood, I can walk right along with it right here by my side.
They make essentially what is a PV / cant hook / log tong / picaroon / log jack all in one. It's like a kit. It's a couple different pieces, and depending which tool you need, you just connect them together and off you go. I'm going to do a whole video on that. I'm not going to show that to you in this video because it was so cool. I actually ended up buying one personally to use here on the farm. Now I guess let's talk about why I didn't do much filming this year at HOA. I made the conscious decision going in this year to Homesteaders of America that I wanted to take more time to build community and talk to people I knew, people that I didn't know. I'm here with Bobby. Bobby's right here in Virginia. Strasburg, you said?
Yes.
Strass or Strauss? Strasburg. I have no way how to pronounce everything down here. But he picked me out of the crowd. He watches the channel, so I just wanted to stop by and say thanks for watching, man.
Well, thank you.
Cool. Make sure you tag that picture on Instagram, okay? All right, bye. Thank you. I wanted to start getting involved and talking to other people and connecting with people and building relationships within this community, because we're in a weird place. You're seeing a lot of doomsday prepping, security rhetoric kind of creep into the homesteading space. What I feel is that if a system is broken, the community that uses that system is the best shot to change the system and fix it. I don't think if there's a broken system, saying, oh no, that system's broken, I'm going to avoid it and leave it, and then not working to do anything and make that system better and get it back on track is the right course of action. I was able to talk with a lot of other, I'll just use the word influencers because that's that's the easiest way to say it. I was able to talk with a lot of other homestead-oriented influencers while I was in Front Royal, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that community and building community and bringing homesteaders together, regardless of your religion, regardless of your politics, regardless of the color of your skin. It is alive and well. The homesteading community is strong right now. There are a lot of people that are focused on building community and coming together. And there are people that are not. There are people that are heading down the doomsday prepper side of homesteading. You know, I'm not saying that canning is a doomsday prep, but there are people who are obsessing over their canning and having food stored for, you know, 5, 10, 20 years down the line. I'm not saying that firearms don't have a place in the homestead. We have firearms. I use firearms. I am a shooting enthusiast. I'm a hunter. But there are people that are looking at tactical training as a necessary skill for every homesteader, and a skill that they will most likely need in the very near future, which I don't necessarily agree with. But my point here is that even if that is your stance, even if you are putting up food for the next 10 years and you're planning on holing up at your homestead, or you're planning on being able to defend your homestead from somebody who may want to come to your homestead and take your food, take your tools, take your money, take whatever. These are things that I feel like, even if you feel, and this is maybe me appealing to some of those people out there that maybe you see a little bit of what I'm saying in yourselves, my appeal is that you will also join me and the other people that I was able to talk with at HOA this year on getting to a point where we're building community. I've started this Homesteaders of New England thing. You know, what's kind of the point? Like, I don't just want to host a gathering every year where people come together and talk. You know, I want to inspire people to go back to their own communities and take what they learned from the fall gathering and bring that to their own communities and share that with other people and build communities where they live, not just where they are. But that's what I wanted to do at HOA this year. I wanted to go there and actively talk to people and actively seek out and hope to inspire them to go back to their own communities, wherever they may be, and lead the charge in changing the system and leading more sustainable lives, and not necessarily doing it out of a place of fear, but saying, hey, we have these things that are broken and we can fix them if we work together. I feel like there's going to be a lot of really cool things happening in the next year, not just from me, not just from the Mindful Homestead, but from a bunch of these other people as well. And I guess all I really can say is be ready, because I came out of HOA fully charged to get some shit done this year. So let's do it. As always, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below. You'll be able to stay up to date with everything we've got going on here on the homestead. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and hope you're having a great day. Bye.